Salesians 2025. 2025 was a year of unforgettable memories for the Salesian world. Lots of anniversaries, global events, youth gatherings, ecclesial events, developmental efforts in favor of the young, and strengthening of the Salesian mission worldwide. Let's take a glance to savor the most important moments of the year 2025. 29th General Chapter. 29th General Chapter. The 29th General Chapter commenced on 16th February 2025 in Valdocco, Turin, with 227 capitulars gathered under the theme Passionate About Jesus Christ, Dedicated to the Young. The 55 days were truly days of prayer, discernment, reflection, listening, renewal, unity, and fraternity. During this historic moment, the leaders who would govern and lead the congregation were elected, starting from the 11th successor of Don Bosco, Father Fabio Attard, and then his vicar, and the other councillors, all totaling 16. Each day of the chapter had its spiritual and fraternal moments, which were also interspersed with lot of sharing, listening, and group discussions. The chapter concluded in Rome with the pilgrimage. On 11th April, the chapter members passed through the Holy Door at St. Peter's Basilica and participated in the Eucharistic celebration presided by the Rector Major, Father Fabio Attard. On April 12th, the General Chapter concluded with a solemn Eucharist in the Basilica of the Sacred Heart and the concluding message. The chapter members left with feelings of gratitude and fraternity, with a renewed sense of commitment to the Salesian mission worldwide.
Animation visits of Rector Major. The 11th successor of Don Bosco, Father Fabio Attard, made a few animation visits for important anniversaries, which always had some spiritual moments, meetings with the Salesians, young people, and the Salesian family. Animation visit to Ecuador. From 11 to 15 September 2025, the 11th successor of Don Bosco, Father Fabio Attard, visited Ecuador for his first animation visit, which coincided with the 50th anniversary of the Salesian Center for Ongoing Formation in America. Animation visit to Sicily. On the 27th and 28th of September, the Rector Major visited Catania in Sicily to receive the conferment of honorary citizenship to him and also to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Salesian youth movement. Animation visit to Malta. From 2 to 6 October, the Rector Major visited Malta, during which he met both the political heads and the church leaders, the Salesian communities, and took part in a number of meetings and initiatives with the young people.
Animation visit to Spain. On the 25th and 26th of October, Father Fabio Attard visited Ciutadella, Menorca in Spain, marking 125 years of Salesian presence in Spain. Rector Major's visit to Nice, France. On the 15th and 16th of November, the Rector Major visited Nice, France, to take part in the commemorative festivities marking the 150th anniversary of the arrival of Salesians. Visit of the Rector Major to Argentina. From 11 to 14 December, the Rector Major, together with his vicar, the Counselor for Missions, and that of America's South Cone, visited Argentina to take part in the celebrations to commemorate the 150th anniversary of the arrival of the first Salesian missionaries to Patagonia.
Special events. Canonization of Sister Maria Troncati. It was a historic and joyful moment for the Salesian family and the Universal Church, as Sister Maria Troncati was canonized on October 19, 2025, in St. Peter's Square by Pope Leo XIV. From October 17th to 20th, the Daughters of Mary Help of Christians led multi-day celebrations, with thousands of pilgrims from Italy, Ecuador, and beyond taking part in this landmark event. Commemoration of the 150th anniversary of the Salesian Missionary Expedition. A week of celebrations in Valdocco from November 8th to 12th, marking the 150th anniversary of the first Salesian Missionary Expedition, was organized by the missions sector. The program brought together young people, missionary delegates, and departing missionaries for moments of reflection, fraternity, and shared missionary experiences. The highlight was the missionary sending ceremony in the Basilica of Mary Help of Christians, where members of the 156th Salesian and 148th FMA expeditions received the missionary crucifix. Events in Genoa, including the unveiling of a commemorative plaque and the inauguration of the Missionary Museum, further honored the historic departure of the first missionaries.
Formation programs. Italy, School of Accompaniment, Turin. The 8th edition of the School of Accompaniment, organized by the formation sector, was held from the 6th of April to the 9th of May, with 26 participants from 16 countries and 22 provinces. The 9th edition of the Salesian School of Spiritual Accompaniment was held from August 18th to September 20th at Turin Colle Don Bosco, with 22 participants from Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, and French-speaking provinces. New Provincial Economers Course. The course for new provincial economers was held at Salesian headquarters in Rome between 5th to 9th May, with 15 participants coming from different provinces and vice-provinces from all Salesian regions.
Corso Sorgente. The Corso Sorgente, organized by the mission sector, was held in September 2025, with 10 Salesian participants from mission territories in Asia, Africa, and Eastern Europe. Corso Germoglio. Corso Germoglio, organized by the mission sector, was held in October to November 2025 in the context of the 150th anniversary of the Salesian missions, brought together 21 participants from different parts of the world.
Anniversaries and Jubilees 2025. During the year 2025, a number of institutions celebrated significant anniversaries of their service and their presence. Austria, 10th anniversary of the Vienna Formation Community. On January 10th, the Vienna Formation Community celebrated its 10th anniversary, honoring Blessed Titus Zeman with guided tours, photo exhibition, festive gathering, and solemn concluding Eucharistic celebration. Italy, 100 years of the San Cataldo Oratory. On January 18th, 2025, exactly 100 years after the foundation of the Salesian work in San Cataldo, Sicily, the local community joyfully celebrated the dedication of the oratory's church, led by Bishop Mario Russotto, with Salesians, clergy, and civic leaders present. Dominican Republic, 90 years of Salesian presence in the country. On January 24th, 2025, the Salesians of the Antilles launched the 90th anniversary celebrations of their mission in the Dominican Republic, with a special Mass marking 9 decades of education and service to vulnerable youth.
Pakistan. 25 years of Salesian presence in Lahore. On January 31st, 2025, the Salesians in Pakistan celebrated 25 years of service in Lahore, coinciding with the feast of Saint John Bosco. Chennai, Lourdes Shrine celebrates 125 years. From 31st January to 11th February 2025, Lourdes Shrine, Perambur in Chennai marked its 125th anniversary with 11 days of celebrations and vibrant gatherings honoring the shrine's legacy. Haiti, 75th anniversary of the Salesian presence in Pétionville. On January 31st, 2025, the Salesian community of Pétionville officially launched its 75th anniversary celebrations with various activities.
Costa Rica, 60 years of Don Bosco Institute, Zapote. On March 7th, Don Bosco Institute in Zapote launched its 60th anniversary celebrations, with Holy Eucharist concluding with festive brunch, music and performances. Argentina, 120 years of Salesian presence in Córdoba. On March 11th, the Salesian Family in Córdoba celebrated 120 years of Don Bosco's presence, with a heartfelt event at Pio X School, attended by students, families, clergy and civic leaders. Brazil, 125 years of Salesian High School, Salvador. On March 11th, Salesian High School, Salvador joyfully celebrated its 125th anniversary, marking more than a century of educational and human development.
Venezuela, 25 years of Salesian presence in Duaca. The Dominic Savio Youth Center in Duaca, Venezuela, marked its Silver Jubilee with a week-long celebration from March 19th to 23rd, 2025. Italy, 60 years of the Saint Zeno Salesian Institute, Verona. On April 11, 2025, the Institute marked its 60th anniversary with a conference uniting institutions, businesses, and educators, highlighting 6 decades of innovative vocational training inspired by Don Bosco. Argentina, 90 years of Salesian education. In the month of April, the Salesian House of Paranay celebrated its 90th anniversary with performances, testimonies from alumni, and other celebrations.
Kenya, 25 years of Kakuma Refugee Camp. On May 25th, Kakuma Refugee Camp in Kenya celebrated 25 years of Salesian presence with a Holy Eucharist by Bishop John. Colombia, Contratación marks 70 years of Marian devotion. In June 2025, the municipality of Contratación in Santander celebrated the 75th anniversary of the monument to Mary, Help of Christians. Morocco, Don Bosco Kenitra celebrates 50 years of service. In the month of June, the Don Bosco Kenitra École Professionnelle d'Électricité Juxpel marked its 50th anniversary, celebrating 5 decades of educating youth from Morocco and sub-Saharan countries.
India. 30 years of Tej Prasirini, Mumbai. On July 3rd, the Salesian province of Mumbai celebrated 30 years of the presence of Tej Prasirini, Don Bosco Center for Communications. DR Congo. 25 years of Salesian presence in Kingabwa. On 6th July 2025, the Salesian House in Kingabwa celebrated 25 years of the Salesian presence, which also coincided with the 45th anniversary of the parish of Saint Achilles Kiwanuka. Dominican Republic. ANES celebrates 50 years of service. The National Association of Former Salesian Trainees, ANES, celebrated its 50th anniversary with a joyful gathering at Pinar Quemado from August 8th to 10th at Jarabacoa.
Papua New Guinea. Don Bosco Technical School celebrates 40th anniversary. On 9th and 15th August 2025, Don Bosco Technical School, Gabutu, celebrated its Ruby Jubilee celebrations, marking 40 years since its founding. Congo. 50 years of Salesian presence in Brazzaville. On August 16th, the Salesians in Brazzaville celebrated 50 years of Salesian presence in the city, with professions and vibrant cultural celebration. Ethiopia. Salesians celebrate 50 years in Ethiopia with marathon. The Salesians of Don Bosco marked 50 years of service in Ethiopia with a mega marathon on August 23rd in Gambela.
Brazil. 140 years of Salesian presence in Sao Paulo. On August 31st, the Salesian province of Sao Paulo initiated the celebrations for the 140 years of Salesian presence in Sao Paulo with the Eucharistic celebrations. Ghana. 20 years of the Venerable Simon Srugi Salesian Novitiate. On September 7, 2025, the AOS Novitiate celebrated its 20th anniversary together with the first religious profession of 20 novices, giving thanks for 2 decades of Salesian formation. Solomon Islands. 25 years of Don Bosco Technical Institute, Henderson. From 7th to 9th September 2025, DBTI Henderson celebrated its Silver Jubilee with 3 days of gratitude and cultural celebration, marking 25 years of transformative education.
Ecuador. 50 years of the Salesian Ongoing Formation Center for America. From 12 to 14 September 2025, the CSFPA in Quito marked 50 years of service with symposiums and Eucharistic celebrations, reaffirming its commitment to ongoing Salesian formation. Guatemala. 90 years of Salesian presence in San Pedro Carcha. Celebrations were held between September 29th to October 3rd, 2025, to celebrate 90 years of Salesian presence in the city, which included the Holy Eucharist by the Bishop. India. 50 years of St. Teresa's Parish, Hyderabad. On October 2nd, 2025, St. Teresa's Parish celebrated 50 years of Salesian mission, with a solemn Mass presided over by Cardinal Pula Anthony.
India. Silver Jubilee of Snehalaya. Snehalaya celebrated 25 years of serving marginalized children on October 8, 2025 in Guwahati with the Holy Eucharist and celebrations. Great Britain, 100 years of Salesian presence at Thornley. On September 30th in Thornley, Great Britain, Thornley Salesian College opened its centenary celebrations with a Mass, which will conclude in July 2026. Portugal, 75 years of Salesian presence in Madeira. In October 2025, in Funchal, Madeira, Portugal, the Salesians celebrated 75 years of their presence.
Nicaragua, 99 years of Salesian presence in Masaya. In the month of October, in Masaya, Nicaragua, the Salesian community celebrated 99 years of presence since 1926 with a Jubilee Triduum. Azerbaijan, 25 years of Salesian presence. In October, in Baku, Azerbaijan, the Catholic Church commemorated the 25th anniversary of their presence. Chile, 100 years of Mary Help of Christians Parish, Linares. In November 2025, the parish community celebrated the centenary of its foundation with a solemn Eucharist, honoring a century of faithful pastoral service.
Italy, 75 years of Salesian presence in Col Val d'Elsa. On November 16, 2025, in Col Val d'Elsa, Italy, the Salesian community concluded its 75th anniversary celebrations with various celebrations. India, 25 years of Don Bosco Institute, Kharguli. On November 22, 2025, Don Bosco Institute, Kharguli celebrated 25 years of empowering youth in Northeast India through education and skill development.
Salesian Family. Throughout 2025, the Salesian family across the globe experienced a year marked by communion, spiritual renewal, and missionary commitment. Inspired by the Strenna 2025 theme, Salesian communities gathered for moments of prayer, formation, celebration, and shared reflection. Salesian Family Spirituality Days. From 16 to 19 January 2025, Valdocco, Turin, welcomed over 370 members of the Salesian family from around the world for the 43rd Salesian Family Spirituality Days. With the theme, Anchored in Hope, Pilgrims with Young People, the gathering offered 4 days of reflection, prayer, and fraternity, inspired by the 2025 Strenna and the Jubilee Year of Hope. Highlights included pilgrimages, missionary workshops, vibrant youth testimonies, and insightful sharing. Rwanda, Strenna Festival. On January 1, 2025, the Salesian family of the Africa Great Lakes Vice Province gathered in Kigali, Rwanda, for the Strenna Festival.
Togo, presentation of the Strenna to the Salesian family. On 26 January 2025, the Salesian family in Lomé, Togo, gathered at the Salesian Post-Novitiate for the Strenna presentation. Myanmar, Strenna presentation to the Salesian family. The Salesian family of Myanmar gathered on February 9, 2025 in Anisakan for the Strenna 2025 presentation. Portugal, Strenna presentation to the Salesian family. On 25th January, over 500 members of the Salesian family gathered in Fatima for the presentation of Strenna 2025. South Africa, Salesian Family Day. In Johannesburg, the Salesian Family Day was celebrated on April 21st at the FMA Provincial House, Johannesburg. Canada, Salesian Family Day. On April 26th, the Salesian family gathered at Dominic Savio Camp in Sherbrooke, Canada for Salesian Family Day.
World Salesian Family Advisory Council. From 4 to 8 June 2025, The annual World Salesian Family Advisory Council met at the Pontifical Salesian University, UPS, in Rome, during which the participants engaged in moments of prayer, formation, and dialogue, and made their Jubilee pilgrimage. Ecuador, 13th ADMA Congress. From 20 to 22 June 2025, the 13th National Congress of the Association of Mary Help of Christians, ADMA, was held at the Santa Maria Spirituality.
Jubilee 2025. During the Great Jubilee year 2025, Rome became a focal point of pilgrimage, welcoming countless members of the Salesian family and young people who journeyed to the Eternal City as pilgrims of hope to take part in the Jubilee pilgrimages and celebrations, expressing faith, unity, and the living charism of Don Bosco. GC members' Jubilee pilgrimage to Rome. On Friday, April 11th, all the General Chapter members gathered at St. Peter's Square to pass through the Holy Door and participate in the Eucharistic celebration at the altar of the chair, presided over by the Rector Major, Father Fabio Attard.
Jubilee of Youth, SIM Jubilee. At the end of July 2025, during the Jubilee of Youth in Rome, the Salesian Youth Movement, SIM, gathered over 5,000 young people from across the world, fully immersed in the global celebration of Pilgrims of Hope. The highlight of the Salesian presence was the SIM Jubilee Festival at Don Bosco Cinecittà, where music, dance, prayer, and artistic performances from 5 continents expressed faith, youth protagonism, and Salesian joy. The festival culminated in a prayer vigil and Eucharistic adoration, led by the Rector Major and the Mother General, who encouraged young people to be artisans of peace and bearers of hope. Kenya, Jubilee opening at Mary Help of Christians Shrine. On January 26, 2025, the Holy Door of Hope was opened at the Shrine of Mary Help of Christians in Nairobi, with the participation of over 4,000 faithful.
Burundi. Youth Jubilee of Salesian Works in Burundi. From 7 to 9 February 2025, over 250 young people from Salesian Works across Burundi gathered at the City of Youth Don Bosco in Buterere for the Youth Jubilee. Italy. The Jubilee of Salesian Schools and Vocational Training Centers in southern Italy. On February 12, 2025, the Salesian province of southern Italy launched its Jubilee celebrations, bringing together over 600 students from schools and vocational centers across the region.
Mexico, Jubilee pilgrimage of the Salesian Family in Guadalajara. In February 2025, around 1,000 members of the Salesian family, including many young people from the Salesian Youth Movement, participated in a Jubilee pilgrimage in Guadalajara. Panama, opening of the Jubilee year at the Basilica of Don Bosco. On March 5th, the Basilica of Don Bosco in Panama became a spiritual beacon as hundreds gathered for the solemn opening of the Holy Jubilee Door.
Brazil. Opening of the Holy Door on indigenous Boi Bororo land. On March 9th, the Sacred Heart of Jesus Parish in Meruri, Brazil, celebrated the opening of the Holy Door as part of the Jubilee year, blending Catholic spirituality with Boi Bororo indigenous traditions. Missionary pilgrimage from Kinshasa to Chikapa in DR Congo. From March 27th to 31st, 2025, hundreds of young people took part in the missionary pilgrimage was held from Kinshasa to Chikapa, over 840 kilometers away, to mark the Jubilee of Hope. Puerto Rico, Pilgrims of Hope Gathering. On April 5th, young people from Salesian houses gathered at the Salesian community in Cantera to begin their Jubilee year journey as pilgrims of hope.
Solomon Islands. Children celebrate Jubilee year 2025. From 13th to 15th June 2025, over 200 children from the Christ the King parish in Tetere gathered to celebrate the Jubilee year under the theme Pilgrims of Hope, Children on Their Way to Jesus. Rome. Ukrainian youth join Jubilee pilgrimage. From July 28th to August 3rd, 2025, around 2,000 Ukrainian young pilgrims took part in the Jubilee of Youth in Rome, accompanied by Salesian bishops and animators.
Italy. Jubilee pilgrimage of the Salesian cooperators in Rome. From August 26th to 31st, 2025, Salesian cooperators from Syria and Europe took part in a Jubilee pilgrimage in Rome, crossing the Holy Door of St. Peter's Basilica and visiting the papal basilicas.
Rome. Salesian Youth Movement Jubilee Pilgrimage. During the Salesian Provincial Assembly of Central Italy, held from September 4th to 6th, members of the Salesian Youth Movement joined the Jubilee pilgrimage to the Holy Door at the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls. Salesian Cooperators Jubilee Pilgrimage in Panama. The Jubilee pilgrimage of the Salesian Cooperators of the Don Bosco Basilica took place in Panama City on October 5th, 2025. Brazil. Jubilee of Educators celebrated in Goiânia. On October 9th, 2025, the Jubilee of Educators was celebrated in Goiânia, Brazil, bringing together representatives of more than 15 Catholic educational institutions.
Marian Spirituality Jubilee pilgrimage in Rome. On October 11th to 12th, 2025, members of the Ad Ma Primary of Turin Valdocco took part in the Jubilee of Marian Spirituality in Rome, passing through the Holy Doors. Rome. Salesian Family actively participates in the Jubilee of Consecrated Life. From October 8th to 12th, 2025, thousands of members of the Salesian Family took part in the Jubilee of Consecrated Life in Rome. On October 9th, Salesian religious and consecrated lay people animated Don Bosco Square, Cinecittà, with the event Notes of Life, offering a strong Salesian witness within the Jubilee celebrations.
Jubilee pilgrimage of the Confrères of Salesian headquarters. On December 22nd, 2025, the Confrères of the Salesian Central Headquarters and the General Council made a Jubilee pilgrimage to the Papal Basilica of St. Mary Major, which concluded with the Eucharist presided over by the Rector Major, Father Fabio Attard, in the chapel of Salus Populi Romani.